Hello students, how are you all? I hope all of you are enjoying at home. So today we are going to start the second poetry from the book Flamingo, that is An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum, which was written by Stephen Spender. Now let's do a brief description of the poet. Stephen Spender was an English poet and an essayist. He left University College Oxford without taking a degree and went to Berlin in 1930. Stephen took a keen interest in politics and declared himself to be a socialist and a pacifist. So he was both a socialist and pacifist. Pacifist means the person who believes in peace. Books by Spender include poems of dedication, The Edge of Being, The Creative Element, The Struggle of the Modern, and an autobiography, World Within World. In An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum, he has concentrated on the themes of social injustice and class inequalities. That means these children are never given justice by the society. Society is always biased towards these children, and they are the victims of class inequality also. Stephen in this poem depicts a dismal state, or you can say a very sad state of poverty through the pale, depressed and dejected faces of the slum children. According to him, these children are very pale, they are unkempt, they are underdeveloped, undernourished, you can say, as they live in unhygienic surroundings and are always deprived of their childhood. The poet here has presented a true picture of the life of school children living in the slum areas. These children are in a very miserable conditions due to their poverty and illiteracy. The poet here is talking about two different and incompatible worlds. One is the world of the rich and civilized people, and the other one is the poor and uncivilized people. The world of the rich and civilized has nothing to do with the world of poor people, and the gap between these two worlds highlight the social disparities and class inequalities. Okay, now let's read the poem first. Far, far from gusty waves, these children's faces, like rootless weeds, the hair torn round their pallor, the tall girl with her weighed-down head, the paper-seeming boy with rat's eyes, the stunted, unlucky hair of twisted bones, reciting a father's gnarled disease, his lesson from his desk. At back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young. His eyes live in a dream of squirrel's game, in tree room other than this, far, far from gusty waves. The poet begins by telling us that the slum is far away from wide open spaces like the sea. These children's faces like rootless weeds. Now here he has compared the faces of the slum children like rootless weeds. Weeds means unwanted plants. So like unwanted plants, these slum children are also unwanted by the society. Their place in the society is insignificant. The hair torn round their pallor. Pallor here means unhealthy pale appearance because they never comb their hair, so their hair are always unkempt over their faces. The tall girl with her weighed down head. So there is a girl inside the classroom who is very tall and she is bent down with the troubles and obstacles that she has to face every day. Moreover, she is overburdened with the miseries of poverty. The paper-seeming boy with rat's eyes. The poet says that there is another boy in the classroom who is as thin as paper and whose eyes are rat's eyes. Why he is calling his eyes rat's eyes? Because he is undernourished and he is deprived of all the basic amenities of life. He is very timid, he is like a rat and full of anxiety, and moreover he searches for food and security every time. The stunted, unlucky hair of twisted bones, reciting a father's gnarled disease. Stunted means undernourished. This unfortunate boy, he is suffering from malnutrition and his growth is also stunted. Moreover, he has also inherited from his father twisted bones. Okay. He is poor, disease prone and despair means he is sad and he appears to be sick as his parents. So all he has inherited from his parents is disease and despair. At back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young. So among all the other children inside the classroom, there is one boy who is different from others. He is unnoted, means he is unnoticed by everyone, everyone. He is sweet and young. His eyes live in a dream of squirrel's game. That means he is dreaming and probably he is thinking about a better future. He is lost in his own world. That means he is not sad like other children sitting in the classroom. He wants to enjoy and play freely like a squirrel in the garden outside. In the boy's imagination, tree room, that means tree room here refers to the hollow in a tree which is full of fun, curiosity and mystery. And this is contrast to the gloomy classroom. The classroom is very dull, the children are very sad, and this boy is different from all the other children. On sour cream walls, donations, Shakespeare's head, cloudless at dawn, civilized dome riding all cities, belt flowery Tyrolese valley, open-handed map, awarding the world its word. And yet, for these children, these windows, not this map, their world, where all their future is painted with a fog. A narrow street, sealed in with a lead sky, far, far from rivers, capes, and stars of words. This paragraph describes the pathetic condition of the classroom in a slum area, and the sour cream walls here refers to the dirty and dingy classroom walls that have changed to a color which is described as a sour cream. Moreover, the classroom is not well maintained, and the pale classroom walls, which were painted long ago with the help of donations, they make this place look much more miserable and sad. Donations, Shakespeare's head. That means there are posters on the wall which have been donated by the rich people, and they also consist of Shakespeare's head. So the portrait of a Shakespeare in the classroom wall is ironical because it is put up in such a place where there is no serious teaching. Cloudless at dawn, civilized dome riding all cities. Cloudless dawn and civilized dome, it suggests the monotonous life the slum children are leading. These children are surrounded by the civilized cities, and these children cannot experience the beauty of the sky, and they are unaware of it, and all they are surrounded are the concrete structures of the cities. Belled flowery Tyrolese valley. That means there is also a picture of the beautiful valley full of sweet fragrant flowers, and these children of the slum will never be able to experience this beauty because they have to live in the slum areas amidst the garbage. Open-handed map. Open-handed map here refers to the world map, awarding the world its world. The first world here refers to the whole world which we live in, and the second world here refers to the slum world. So the whole world have been awarded with the slum world. And yet for these children, these windows, not this map, their world. So according to the poet, because these children are confined to the four walls of the classroom, so there should be a slum area map hung on the wall, not the world map, because they can never explore that map, where all their future is painted with a fog. That means the future of these children is very dim and hopeless, and they have a dark future as their options in life are very limited and they are covered with dismay, disappointment. A narrow street sealed in with a lead sky. That means the children live in a congested narrow streets and they are trapped there and they have nowhere else to go. Far, far from rivers, capes and stars of world. That means these children are far away from the bright light of knowledge. They are far away from the rivers, capes and mountains. Students, I hope that through this video you all are able to understand this poetry. Now on the basis of your learning of this poem, you have to complete this worksheet. Thank you.